Hello, how are you?
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see my friend.
It's so good to see you. I want you to like this page and share it. I have a special guest this morning, and it's Dr. Dallas. She's a naturopathic doctor. She's a health expert, and she's an entrepreneur. She's my very good friend. And so we're going to be talking about a variety of things, but particularly something that she has a popcorn product, but we're not going to do that first. But we're going to talk about health in the Black church. And it's really at a very serious level of concern. And Dallas has been very passionate about health. And now the obesity that I have been experiencing doesn't stand a chance. She worked with me when I was in the Washington, D.C. area, had a talk show, George Wallace, the comedian, and I was in tip-top shape. She worked me, and she worked me well. So I had to call in the main forces that will help me lose 100 pounds so I can get my sexy back. You know, when I weigh 100 pounds less, I look a lot like...
you still have your sexy.
Thank you. I look a lot like Denzel. Can you feel the brother up in here? Up in here. So I want you to like this page and share it. And I want to, let me put the popcorn down for a moment, because this is the best popcorn on the planet, bar none. And you will agree with me. But I want to ask you, how serious the health problems and obesity and diabetes in the Black church?
It's very serious, but before we go there, in full transparency, I just show up on Les's door after traveling to some states here, and to come in here, people always tell me, "Oh, Dallas, you look like you've not aged." I'm looking at Leslie and I'm saying, "Why, you look good, even at 75 pounds over." I was like, "But you look good."
Well, thank
Look at you. Looking just like you did when I met you some 20 years ago.
Yes.
It's amazing. And you know what? We're talking about health, and one of the reasons I wanted to put that sidebar in there is because we often talk about, it sounds good to say holistic, the mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
But there's nothing more consistent with getting well than to understand that you have to work all three. It has to be a mind, spirit, and soul thing. And I've often said, as Leslie has talked, very publicly about the cancer that he's dealt with for some 21 plus years, it really is your attitude. And I says, the reason that this man is still here, if you look at his videos from when you were in the Cancer Institute, where you're smiling, I says, because I'm thinking that you're not going to be here tomorrow. And he's on there, and I says, isn't this wonderful that you want to leave a legacy that says, look at this man and the attitude that he had the night before his last day,
Yes.
And that's why that thing didn't die. It was because your attitude wouldn't let it die. And it's all about whether or not the cup is half full or half empty. And when you're eating a great diet, regardless of a sedentary lifestyle or a diet that's not good, it really starts to matter about the attitude. And the state of the health of the Black church today has a lot to do with the stress. It's the stress that we're dealing with. It's the crises. I talk to individuals. They're so upset about what number 45 is doing. I'm looking at him saying, you're going to have a stroke. I mean, just a discussion about him has your blood raising. And so it comes back to, how much influence or impact does he actually have on your immediate family, your immediate community? And those are the things that should really be concerning us. And if we're taking time to make sure that those things are in order, when you start vasculating out, how much does that really have to do with us?
Yeah.
Because there's so much more. Because I tell people, my thing is that yes, that's a terrible situation, but it's not as terrible as the situation that we're facing as a Black community. Because number 45 can die of a stroke, and that's not going to change our situation. And our situation is dire. I love to go out and do workshops. One of my opening statements is, for every 10 Black women that are standing here, please stand up. 6 of you will be diagnosed with cancer, and 4 of you will die as a result of that. Those statistics are unacceptable. More importantly, 75% of the cancer cases, especially dealing with colon cancer, digestive issues, are preventable. They're all about changing the diet. The 21st century, as we're leaving that, has been deemed diabetes is the Black death century, 21st century. Diabetes.
Wow, diabetes. You know what?
Diabetes.
I saw this promotion. It was not a promotion, but it was entertainers that had died, and black entertainers that had died. Over 90% died from type 2 diabetes or the diseases related to that.
Resulting.
You know, heart disease, heart attacks, strokes. But first of all, let me pause. Right, your skin looks so good.
So does yours.
Thank you, but
Thank
my
you.
goodness, and you don't wear any makeup. You know, everybody can't get up and not have any makeup on. Don't have to paint that barn. You know, as my sister used to say, I got to paint my barn. Everybody can't come out in public like that, all right?
We just drove for 5 hours.
Right,
so.
Get caught in the rain. So, all right, but listen, so...
And back to that statistic, just in case
let's
you guys
talk about
don't know.
that statistic.
So
you're
there's
saying that out of 10 women who would stand up,
the
6 in the black community, 6 will be diagnosed with cancer.
Yes.
And 4 will die.
4 of those 6 will die.
Out of the 6. Okay, now, so when you look at black men, what are the statistics as it relates to cancer in men and prostate cancer?
Surprisingly, the deaths resulting from men, black men with cancer, exceed women deaths from cancer. And that's typically because we all know, we've heard it, and we ignore it. So we're very good at ignoring things. If you jump back to the diabetes situation, this is 2020. In 1950, there were proven scientific results that said that an individual that had been suffering from diabetes for 20 years, taking 30 units of insulin on a daily basis, could come off of that insulin in as few as 14 days if they just switched to a plant-based diet.
You gotta be kidding.
Exactly. So
in 14 days.
In 14 days, 13, give or take an hour or 2. And seriously, and sometimes we laugh to keep from crying, because the situation that I'm in as a naturopathic doctor, fitness trainer, raw food chef, with an engineering background, I'm able to look at things very scientifically. Yeah. And so in a community, when I'm talking to a church that is struggling, you know, whenever I had a ministry for 15 years, I actually brought the services as an ordained minister to the sick and shut-in. So I'm watching literally people transition from this life to the next life, some 150 funerals in a 13-year period. But these are people that are 90 to 110 years old. Yes. Primarily of the Caucasian community. Just living out their last 20 years. None of them were like dying of sickness. They're just dying of old age. Very seldom does that happen in our community. And so when I go out and I'm giving a lecture or a workshop in the Black church, and I'm having this discussion, and I'm looking at how many people have cancer, how many people have diabetes, obesity, heart disease. There was a report that recently came out that said there's a direct correlation between Black churchgoers and obesity and diabetes. I personally don't think that the report was done very well. I think it really kind of focuses on the cultural practices in the Black church. Whenever we're doing anything, it really, the staff meeting, the ministry meetings, which we have a lot of those, it's predicated on what are we going to serve to eat. Most of the fellowship offerings aren't desirable if they're not floating in grease. When you go to our counterparts in the white church, it's usually potluck dinner. So, potluck dinner is something you're bringing from your house. So if you're not going to indulge in food that's fried, at least you have the opportunity to fellowship with others and eat your own food. I've gone to speak as a presenter, and there was nothing I could eat. They're having a reception for me after I speak, and there's nothing there I can eat. So when we're serving a meal and we've gotten to a point where we're not offering anything green, where do you draw the line between being judgmental and just saying to myself, is that pure ignorance? That an individual would continue to suffer than just pull some of the meat from the diet, to switch to a plant-based diet, because it goes beyond the individual. Unfortunately, when you get sick, you don't have, plant-based diet. Yeah. So the biggest challenge for people would be the meat. Sugar, And I'm glad you said that, because typically when I go out, I'm never saying, I need you to stop eating meat. I usually don't tell people. That's what I don't like about veganism, vegetarianism. These are all isms that tell you, do not eat this, do not do this. Versus, I tell people, I need you to eat more fruits and vegetables. I need you to add beans and herbal teas to your diet. I do tell people that white sugar, white flour, and salt, table iodinized salt, will kill you.
Okay.
They're addictions. When you go into stores that have multi-grain flaxseed crackers, perfect example, Kirkland, Costco's pistachios that people love. They're salt and pepper pistachios.
Yes.
Question for your audience, for those of you who are joining us, hey, Pat Cooper, take a look at salt and pepper pistachios. You don't have to be an engineer to say, okay, what would be, for the $10 million question, what would be the ingredients? Les Brown, for $10 million, what would be the ingredients of salt, pepper, pistachios?
Right. Yes, the ingredient for that, well, I mean, they soak them in salt, right?
Salt and pepper pistachios.
Pepper. Yes.
Salt, pepper, and pistachios.
Yeah, that increases, that's sodium.
Exactly, but that's not
high blood pressure.
Not the problem, though. Let's go back to this. Salt and pepper. Did we get any answers? Salt and pepper pistachios. So as you know, when you have the ingredients listed on a package, the first ingredient, they're listed based on the quantity.
Dominant one.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
And so as you get to where they say and flax seeds or flaxseed crackers, and then you have 15 ingredients, and then they have and flax seeds. You know, it's a marketing tool. But you have pistachios, the second ingredient before the salt, before the pepper, sugar.
No.
Yes. The multigrain flaxseed crackers, sugar. Sugar is used as a natural preservative, but more importantly, it's used because it's just like crack cocaine. It's an addiction. And if you eat that entire bag of salt and pepper pistachios that's laced with that much sugar, you're going to become addicted to it, and you're going to buy it every single time that you go in that store. And that is a deliberate attempt to make more money, and at the same time, simultaneously, it is destroying a community of people that are not paying attention.
Today, my special guest is Dr. Dallas. She is a health expert. She's a naturopathic doctor. She also is an entrepreneur, and she has created the best tasting popcorn on the planet. We're going to get to that. And she is starting a movement and an awareness campaign, and particularly working with churches across the country, Black churches, to help raise the consciousness of health and wellness among our people, educating us about the need to making healthy choices and being able to add years to our life, right. And living a quality life. So when you think about the obesity epidemic, and they're saying that now the younger generation, they're morbidly obese to a very large extent, a larger percentage, and that this is the first generation that will not outlive their parents because of their poor health choices. What is it that people should be doing to maintain an optimal health lifestyle and not feel deprived?
Would that deprivation include having your foot amputated?
Okay.
Because back to type 2 diabetes, you have 200,000 cases of vision loss associated with diabetes, 75,000 lower extremity amputations as a result of diabetes, another 75,000 deaths as a result of being diabetic. And then, what other examples are in there? What else is related to? So you have vision loss, you have the amputations, you have more than 90% of people that are diagnosed as diabetic are overweight.
Yes, and you have impotence.
Impotence is something from high blood pressure medication, from diabetic medication, and then that leads to the let's pray for the marriage ministry in the church. So it's just an escalating thing that just affects everything. There are 3 challenges that I look at coming into the church to get people onto programs to create a paradigm shift, a little unorthodox in the way that I do things, as you know. I'm not as interested as being a child of God, as being an ordained minister. I really believe in God.
Yeah.
I believe that he is the author and finisher of our lives. I believe that he can do anything.
Yes.
And I believe that he's waiting for us to knock, to seek, and to look. And he'll do the rest. I tell people, just take one step forward. A lot of people say, well, Dallas, people aren't going to do that if they don't want to do it. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think that the way in which you communicate and educate people on this, you create the thirst where they want to do it.
Exactly. They often say that you can take them to the room, but you can't make them drink. Well, if you make them thirsty enough, when you take them to the water, they will drink. I don't know that there's anything that I enjoy in life right now, that I have the pleasure of having in life, that I actually wanted. I don't know that I just woke up one morning and said, I want to be as close to God as possible. I think I got pushed into a couple of ministries. I started working. I started not having the help that I needed, and I started depending on God, and I started seeing him move miraculously in my life and in the things that I was doing. And then I just started saying, wow, I really want to get closer to this person. You know, I don't know that I wanted to be an engineer. I know my parents said, as long as you stay in this house, you're going to go to school and you're going to make straight grade, A's or whatever. And then learning, things come along. That is why we operate off of the E3 principle. If you go to our website, Life by Dallas or Dr. Dallas Speaks, something called the E3 principle. That's education, equipping, and encouraging / empowering individuals. I never do a lecture and talk about this is how the human body works, this is what you need to do, without saying, and now this is what that actually looks like in your life. I've gone to so many clients' homes, and they've got chia seeds, they've got all the right things in their pantries from listening to Dr. Oz, but there's no practicality to it. They don't know how to put it into their lives and say, okay, now that, green foods clean the blood, red foods move the blood, yellow foods are good for natural laxatives, blue foods for your mind if something's going on. So you can self-diagnose yourself. You've got a headache, then something's going on. So let me go to my pantry and let's focus on that color food. If I've got a little acne or pimple or something going on, I know that orange foods are for the skin, so let me go make some orange juice or some fresh carrot juice. And so you can start taking care of yourself individually. That comes from the education piece. The practical piece is like, okay, so what's orange? Carrots are orange. So this is how you actually take a bunch of carrots and juice them. So we put together what a normal meal looks like, not a salad that you would get from a regular store, but what we call the Dallas meal salad. So it incorporates all of those individual things that I've just educated you on as the tools that you need for your body to function properly. So now let's put them together. And then once the individual tastes it, they're able to use their hands and put it together and watch me do it. Then they're encouraged, because most people, the response that we get when people eat our salads or things like that, they're like, I can do this. So what does that say? It says that they've tried to do some other things that were going to be good for them, but it just wasn't achievable. And so when they say, I can do this, now they're equipped because of the education, and now they're encouraged, which means that they're empowered to change their lives.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Dr. Dallas. Dr. Dallas, a naturopathic doctor. She's an expert in health, and she's an entrepreneur. Now, I want to segue to something that's very important to me, that she does.
And to me too.
And to her too. I'm sorry that you see this backwards, but she makes true popcorn. So talk about this original crowd favorite popcorn that you have. You have, how many different kinds do you have?
We have 2 on display for you. Today we have 3 that are on the market currently. We own the rights to 5 flavors. As you see, True Popcorn. That's because every bite is nothing but the truth. And the thing about the popcorn is that, and this is Leslie's favorite, is the garlic overdose. Many people will say, garlic overdose, that's our #1 seller. And so this one is garlic overdose, and this one's the crowd favorite. So how is it that the #1 seller is not the crowd favorite?
Right.
Because we started out in the health food stores. We actually got into Whole Foods 6 months after I created this. So it's non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free. It's air popped, so the dietary fiber is high. We spray it with sunflower oil that makes it taste like it has butter on it, but it's completely vegan. It has nutritional yeast for its namesake. Nutritional yeast means that it's loaded with nutrients, B vitamins, folic acid, niacin, all of those things that help make you well. So it's got all this great stuff going on, but more importantly, the nutritional yeast makes it taste like it has a strong cheese flavor to it. So in 2020, the whole millennial crave is gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO. So we meet all of those buzzwords, but Les knows that this product was created months after I met him.
Yes.
In fact, there was a woman that did something very similar to this, but it didn't have all the healthier stuff going on with it, but it was definitely better than eating potato chips.
Yes.
And I got my clients to start buying it. And then 2-3 weeks after they started buying it out of these little plastic bags, she just disappeared. And they were like, now what? And I'm just like, now what? Now what? So the famous question, now what? And so I started literally putting together some popcorn for them that would be better for them, a better for you snack.
Yes.
And of course, I took what was there and made it into the healthier version.
What's the difference between this and popcorn in the theater?
The popcorn in the theater and most popcorn products are either air popped or what we call wet cooked. Wet cooked can include kettle cooked or popcorn that you put onto your microwave or you put onto your stovetop. And what you have to do is you have to heat the kernels to such high temperatures to get them to pop.
Right.
Now, there's one thing about dealing with diabetes and health and everything else under that regimen is that naturopathic doctors and Eastern and Western doctors don't agree on anything. The one thing we do agree on is the amount of dietary fiber that an individual needs to have on a daily basis. And in that would be at the top of the list of good products for fiber would be popcorn. Popcorn is on that list. But if it's not air popped, you destroy the dietary fiber content because of the heating and the cooking process. So if you want the popcorn to be good for you, it has to be air popped. And so the movie theater popcorn that everybody loves, and why do they love movie theater popcorn? Because it's cheesy and it's buttery and it tastes good.
Yeah.
So we meet all of that criteria by doing it the healthy way. And then you get the additional benefits of the herbs that we add. The garlic overdose, obviously, has garlic powder and garlic oil included. And anyone knows if you were my uncle and you had cancer, I would simply tell you to put some garlic under your tongue every day so that it goes right into your veins. And that would be a really good thing because of the sulfur content. It has something called anisin in it. And anisin is one of those things that kills bacteria. It's just extremely difficult to survive in that type of environmental condition.
With the cancer cells?
Yes.
So this would be good.
That would be good. Fresh garlic would be good too. We want to encourage people to do a variety of herbs and spices on a daily basis because what they do for food in terms of taste is phenomenal, but what they do in terms of healing the body, you guys all know about turmeric and cinnamon works like cayenne pepper in terms of opening the arteries and getting the flow to go naturally. So we definitely want to get to a point where we start increasing the amount of herbs and spices that we have in our foods. And the popcorn, the crowd favorite, is a combination of 15 different herbs. And when you mix it with the nutritional yeast and the sunflower oil, it is just special.
What is your website? Tell people. I'm talking to Dr. Dallas, a naturopathic doctor and my very good friend. She's a fitness instructor. She used to wear me out. My goodness gracious. But
stop it. Leslie would sit on the couch and tell me that he wasn't doing that. He says, I had this ball. Remember I used to bring the ball over?
Yes.
Before anybody else was doing the ball. And he'd be like, I'm not getting on that. And it was all good because you were already looking like Denzel back then.
Thank you very kindly.
Your earlobes are looking like Denzel's now.
Thank you very much. Okay. Tell them about your website.
Website is Dallas Popcorn. That's DALLASPOPCORN.com. We also have Dr. Dallas Speaks. If you're interested.
You're going so fast. Say the website again. Okay,
that's Dallas as in Texas.
Yeah.
DALLAS.
Yeah.
And the word popcorn, all spelled out, DallasPopcorn.com.
Okay.
And then we're trying to change lifestyles. So it's Life by Dallas, LIFEBYDALLAS.
Now, what will they find when they go to Life by Dallas?
When you go to Life by Dallas, you'll have a plethora of different things to get you to change your lifestyle. So we believe that the first step to really changing is some level of detoxification and rejuvenation. The best way to do that when the gastrointestinal system is already dysfunctional, you can eat some good popcorn, but you know how you have a trash can that's already full? It's kind of difficult to get any thing in there. So you got to empty that trash can first and then start putting some good stuff in there. And so we have an entire line of herbal teas left that I've created, engineered to be able to specifically deal with diabetes, high blood pressure. We have one for the flu season. So it's a variety of teas that I put together based on my engineering background, biochemistry, just taking different herbs that work together with various herbs. We have an entire line of green herbal teas that obviously are the first step.
And they can find that there.
You can get that on the website. If you're in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, we do boot camp that we've been doing for 28 years. We do some personal training.
Can groups, can churches, can organizations invite you to come in?
Oh, absolutely.
To speak?
To invite Dr. Dallas in to speak at your next event or your church, where we will come in and you will have the event of a lifetime. Trust me. We've taken the most unassuming carnivores and changed them over. That would be at drdallasspeaks.com. So that's DRDALLAS speaks.
Now, she is not just the messenger. She is the message. She is a rare 3 B's: brains, beauty, and the body. I mean, she's a brick house. I mean, to tell you up in here, Stevie Wonder can see this body. Okay, so once again, where they can order the popcorn.
Okay, you can order the popcorn at dallaspopcorn.com. That's DALLASPOPCORN. And for those of you who are on Amazon, we are available on Amazon. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, we're in Whole Foods, Wegmans, we're in a lot of the health food stores. But we would love to see you on our site. That's dallaspopcorn.com. The website, Life by Dallas. We also have our 3 books that I've authored. Fitness ABCs by Dr. Dallas. The best way to transition from where you are now to begin a path of health would be a nice ebook that we have. Nutrition Starts Here. We also have my spiritual book. Do you know 316? So Do You Know 316 is a book that I wrote.
No.
Out of the 66 books in the Bible, there are actually 16 books that do not have a 3rd chapter and a 16th verse. But of all of the other ones, they tell this wonderful, complete story. It's just amazing. God placed that on me, and you'll find that book. And that's that other piece of transitioning. So it's a wonderful piece that you can meditate on, that you can get the motivation and the encouragement to believe that God has your back on this, and you can walk in that. And the other 2 fitness books are there as well.
Okay.
And again, all of the information about booking me to come to your next event or to come to your church and help do a paradigm shift. We don't want to just control diabetes and heart disease. We want to reverse diabetes. We're not interested in you watching your blood pressure and continuing to take blood pressure medicine. We're interested in you living a life that there's nothing in your medicine cabinet but peppermint and tree bark and lavender oils and all the things that...
I'm going to put this to test.
Okay.
I'm going to do whatever you tell me for the next 14 days. And let's see. I'll use me as a guinea pig.
We will.
And I'm going to give a report on this.
Okay.
All right. And then
we'll come back and you'll see lesser and less.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very kindly. And so you can reverse the diabetes.
Absolutely.
Good. Listen, this is major. I mean,
it is major.
I have several friends who've had amputations and lost their sight out of nowhere. It is not, diabetes is nothing to be played with. It is more vicious than cancer.
Yeah,
in fact, failure. Dr. Taha at Cancer Centers of America, he said, Mr. Brown, you will not die from cancer. He said, but if you don't get that weight off you, you will die from type 2 diabetes, you know, and the insulin is not your friend. It's a friend to a certain degree in managing your blood sugar level. But we have to do what I think Dr. Schultz said: when you are diagnosed with a life-threatening disease, number 1, it makes you responsible. 2, it makes you become enlightened. You should become enlightened. And 3, now you are empowered to make right choices and do the right things. And so we're encouraging you. Your life is very important. Make your life count and your health. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. But let me tell you something.
This comes close.
This comes close. I love this garlic popcorn up in here, as much as I love my mama's sweet potato pie. So you want to go, and they can order this at Dallas.
DallasPopcorn.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you can visit our other website, Dr. Dallas Speaks,
Yes.
to have us come in and just I tell people all the time, if I leave out of here and a Mack truck runs me over, my leg is hanging, by all means, get me to the nearest high-tech hospital possible. Put me on every drug to make sure that I can recuperate as quick as possible. And that's the healthcare. We cannot take away the greatness that our doctors do. They keep us alive in acute situations. It's just not for chronic conditions. That wasn't in their toolbox. What's in their toolbox is to have you come in with your leg hanging off, do a quick diagnosis, and prescribe a quick, what they call the kill pill.
Yeah.
You know, the pill for the kill, for the ill.
Drug it out.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
burn it out.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so what we want to do is to start just bringing a quality of life back and doing the things that we know Hippocrates said, that your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. And just move from there and just have a better, and just start. We're taking people where they are. We're not going to come into your church and tell you that you can't eat meat. We're going to come and put you on a module that I have created for churches that takes you through an 8 to 12 week program. It's not an 8 or 12 week program that's going to be talking about how to control your diabetes. It's going to be teaching you how to become equipped to be able to do the things that we're going to educate you on, so that you can go to your kitchen when you're not well, when your children are not well, and have a cure.
Okay, but you also work with individuals.
And we do work with individuals and groups, yes.
Okay.
And all of that information, you can shoot us an email always, Dr. Dallas at DrDallasSpeaks.com, and we'll get back to you within 48 hours.
I've been knowing her for many years. She helped me with my health many years ago when I was first diagnosed. And I said, I need her help now. And I'm so glad that she rolled up in here. and we're back together again. And what Albie said, sometimes you have to go a long distance out of the way to come back a short distance correctly. And so all the things that you taught me back then, I need all of that again, because sometimes you get derailed.
Sometimes you get derailed, but again, even in your derailment, the key is to never give up hope. To never give up hope, and to always seek out individuals that are not only going to give you that hope, but will walk alongside with you, you know, and help you make the adjustment. It's one thing for me to tell Leslie, well, you know what to do, or give you a bunch of things to do. Leslie's like, you know, I need your help. I was like, okay, I'm coming down. He just didn't believe me that I was coming down. So he came right down. I came knocking at the door this morning. Yes. And that is what we do. So we're going to spend another 20 minutes here and go through your kitchen really quick, give you a couple of things to do, and then we're going to check back in and see what's going on.
All right.
Okay.
I appreciate you. I want you to like this page and share it. It will be on our Facebook. And I want you to go to DallasPopcorn.com, DallasPopcorn.com, and also LifeWithDallas.com.
Life by Dallas.
Oh, LifeByDallas.com.
Dr. Dallas Speaks. And
Dr. Dallas Speaks.
And Ask Dr. Dallas, the YouTube channel. For those of you who, I just rode with a couple of individuals down from DC. We stopped at a couple of other places. And I'm sitting in the back of the car, and they're on the Ask Dr. Dallas YouTube channel, watching the TV shows, watching the sermons, and I'm just like, can I get another station? But I'm sitting there at the same time, Les, and I'm saying, you know, this is some really good information. So the information is readily available for you as well. I mean, it's always good to have me in person, but if you go to Ask Dr. Dallas, we're on a personal crusade to change people's lives. It's not about me. It's not about making me the center of anything. It is about disseminating as much accurate information as humanly possible that people can get their hands on. So when you watch the television shows, I'm showing you why you should not eat watermelons or any foods that don't have seeds in them. I'm telling you the difference between a female watermelon and a male watermelon. And one of the reasons that in our society, so many things are going off because we're not getting those hormonal balances.
What's the difference between a watermelon with the seed and watermelon without the seed?
How does a watermelon without seeds grow? Where did it come from?
Out the ground.
Child of God whose religion is predicated on the seed of life. Right. So we just want to do those things that are natural.
So we want to do the things that are natural.
We're going to do those things that are natural. So as
fruit
long as
don't
we
have
know
seeds,
right.
that originally had seeds,
Exactly.
then they've been, what, artificially modified?
Exactly.
Wow.
And they just don't. We had a women's group that we took on to a raw food retreat, and I had 3 of the individuals consume the seed grapes with seeds in it versus the ones that took in the seedless grapes for the weekend.
Yes.
It's just an incredible difference. And just to do that,
And
so
seedless
that,
grapes too?
Yeah, seedless grapes. You know, now you can get lemons with no seeds in them.
Lemons with no seeds.
Seedless lemons. Imagine that, seedless anything.
So then
that's what
when
we
they're
want to
creating them in a laboratory?
We're not going to have that discussion simply because we're not trying to fight the government and we're not trying to be ostracized in the community. I don't want anybody coming after me. I just want to be able to do what I know. And I know from my grandparents' farm that I grew up on in the summers that we don't eat anything that doesn't have seeds in it.
Wow. Okay. So you don't want no problem.
I am leaving that hot potato alone.
Okay.
And so the thing is, but you know, yeah. So we talk about a lot of things.
Okay. I'm going to bring you back again. We got to talk. Listen, I hope that you got some value out of this. Please go to DrDallasPopcorn.com.
DallasPopcorn.com.
Yeah.
LifeByDallas.com.
Yes.
And ask
Dallas
Dr.
Speaks.
Dallas Speaks. Dr. Dallas.
Yeah, Dr. Dallas
Dr.
Speaks. Yes. And
Dallas
ask
Speaks.
Dr. Dallas.
Mm-hmm. And our phone number is 240-200-9793.
Repeat it again, please.
240-200-9793.
Here's to your health. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. You deserve the best life possible. Happy new decade of plenty and beyond.
Yes.
And you can go there and be there with Health by Dr. Dallas.
Let's do some things different this decade.
Yes.
Let's be the best that we truly can be and that we deserve to be.
Thank you for being a blessing to me.
Thank you for being in my life.
I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too, and we're going to get you looking
You want to get me together?
better than Denzel.